Welcome to my blog on cybersecurity and big data. My name is lipyeow-sec. I'm a computer scientist, an educator, and a software engineer. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about handling IoC updates when you're doing continuous IoC matching. And the problem setting is as follows. Your organization has a process or a system to manage a list of IOCs stored in a table. And this process basically is doing this. It's actually consolidating all the IOCs that you're getting from your threat intel services, your threat intel subscriptions like VirusTotal and Mandiant and so on, as well as the IOCs discovered or encountered by your SOC analysts, your threat hunters, and your researchers. And so these updates are coming in at ad hoc times. They come in at any time. Right? Because they're triggered by human processes, they're also triggered by like threat intel subscriptions. Now, what do you do when these IOC updates come in, right? And this is the question that we're going to address. So there's two cases that we're going to handle. Case one, log data that arrives after the IOC updates. So we talked about this in episode 2 on automating IOC matching. Your DLT, when it's triggered in a batch fashion, will reread the entire IOC table. So any updates that arrive will be handled by the DLT that we introduced in episode 2. So case 2 is the case that we are concerned about in this episode. Log data that arrive after IOC updates. And so there are two subcases here. Case 2A, IOC matching on logs that are covered by summary tables that we introduced in episode 3. And case 2B, logs that are not covered by summary tables due to batch scheduling and also not covered by case 1. Let's look at this diagram to explain all of this. So this is the timeline is going from left to right, and the IOC stream is at the top in yellow, and we see an update, a batch of updates right in that square. And there's two things we need to do here, right? So we need to match this against your summary tables. This is handled by these black lines and the join query in black. And then between the update time of the summary table and the time of the IOC update, that's a blind spot that we need to take care of with the join query in the yellow portion. And these are the two queries that we'll look at today. So let's jump right in. Assume you're going to have created a union all view of all your summary tables, and this is IOC summary all. And we're going to simulate a new IOC being added just by inserting an IOC, this IP address into the IOC table. And this will be the query that for case 2A. And it's very straightforward. Just match IOC summary all, do an inner join against your IOC table, make sure the timestamp, you're picking up only IOCs from the last IOC update, and make sure you have set a time period for the historical look back. In this case, we just assume 1 month. And since my data is all, we'll assume that the current time is 2012, April 1st, right after, sometime after 8 a.m. And with this query, you'll be able to handle the summary tables. And so you can convert this query into a DLT and schedule that DLT to be executed to handle the case 2A. So let's look at case 2B. To simplify the query, I'm going to create a view called L7 logs ops. And this view would union all the L7 tables that I'm going to be handling here, DNS, HTTP, and it's going to capture all the observable extraction logic, all the regular expressions that you saw in episode 1, for example. This will simplify our query. And this is what the view looks like. And we're interested in the extracted ops column. So case 2B now becomes quite simple. All you do is you join IOC with L7 logs ops. And again, you set the right timestamps for the update timestamp of the IOC. And then the time window for the data would be from the last update time of the summary table. Again, I don't have a good day to simulate this, so I'm just going to be using this this timestamp instead. In production, you can use date trunc here and set it to whatever the time period of the batch schedule for the summary table is. And that's it. You'll run this and you'll get back some results. So next, you're going to have to convert this into a DLT. I have an example of it here, and this is the DLT for the summary table IOC hits. Again, the key thing to note here is that the stream part is on the IOC, and look at the summary table, the summary views. That's not a stream for this DLT query. So this is the big difference from episode 2. Same with the recent history, which is the blind spot query. And again, the stream is on the IOC because for each IOC update, it's going to trigger this query and join it against your L7 logs ops. Again, with the appropriate timestamps, which again in production you can use date trunc to kind of set these. And that's pretty much it. With 2 additional DLT queries, we are able now to have full coverage of these time periods, historical time periods, when you're handling IOC updates. That's it. See you next time.